What if you could have healthy snacks on hand that last for years and are available for you when you need them in an emergency? Today, we're going to be talking about why freeze-dried food is a great idea to have in your pantry for emergencies, but also for snacks, for everyday snacks. We can find these freeze-dried foods these days pretty inexpensively. I'll share a haul I just got today, and we'll talk a little bit more about why these are important to probably have in your pantry. So let's get started. Let's first start and see what I got from beprepared.com. Now, they are not a sponsor of this YouTube channel. I purchase from them because sometimes they have an amazing deal and it's so cheap that I'm like, okay, I got to buy this because it's a great deal and I'm going to eat it. So that's what I bought today. I've got a couple cases of freeze-dried green beans and about 3 number 10 cans of peaches, I think. So let's check it out. So some of you guys who have been watching my videos for a while know that I like to buy freeze-dried foods to have on hand to cook with and to have snacks on hand. I did a whole video on mushrooms that I got that were super cheap. And so today I'm just sharing my green beans and my peaches that I bought. So I was able to purchase these green beans. They're in a number 10 can. There's 5.2 ounces in this can for $9.96 for if you bought like 6 of them. So I ended up buying 12 because not only do Lonnie and I like to eat green beans, just in general, but freeze-dried green beans make an excellent, healthy snack, and the dogs like them too. Now, the peaches were also on sale. So these were $13.74, and you got 6.35 ounces. Now, you might think 6.35 ounces doesn't seem like a lot, but because these are freeze-dried, that means all the water has been pulled out of them. And because all of the water has been pulled out of them, they have retained their vitamins and have retained all their nutrients, but they do not expire like normal peaches do or like normal green beans do. So let's open them up and check them out. I think we should start with a vegetable first, right? When you are opening up your number 10 can, make sure there's no bulge. So if you ever get a tin and any can, even the cans that you get at the grocery store that maybe you buy the green beans in the little cans at the grocery store, or your tomatoes or whatever you're buying in the cans, make sure that the can is never bulging. If the can is bulging, that means it's no good and you do not want to open it. There might be botulism in there and that might spread and then cause you to be very, very sick. So make sure that your cans are not bulging. I just threw away a couple cans of tomatoes that were bulging, and it was disappointing because they were number 10 cans, so it was kind of disappointing, but you don't want to open it and you don't want to risk it. So just throw it out and move on. So when you open your can, you probably will have a little hiss sound because it is under pressure, and that's okay. Whenever I'm opening up a new can, I always take out what I want, of course, but anything that I'm not going to eat immediately, like within a few days, I will put into little pint-size or quart-size jars, and then I will suck out all the air so that they keep their freshness, essentially. So this is what they look like when you get them. And if you want to make a meal out of these, you just have to reconstitute them. So if you look at the back of the can, it will tell you if you want a half a cup, then you'll be using a half a cup of green beans and you'll use 1 cup of water. And what you'll do is you'll put the green beans in the water and let it sit for a few minutes, and then it should soak up that water for you. The instructions say here to cover the beans with warm water and let stand for 5 minutes, stirring occasionally. And then you drain off the excess water, you heat it, and you serve. You can use it in your favorite recipe or enjoy it as a delicious side dish is what it says. So these are the green beans. And I just like to eat them. in this can, the only thing in here is green beans. So there's no other preservatives. There's nothing but green beans in this can. So you get all the nutrients that you would normally get out of a green bean. And actually, this is probably even more nutrient than maybe a canned bean that you would normally get, because that's been heated. So this is probably the best type of nutrient that you can get out of a green bean or out of any vegetable is your freeze dried. So each of these cans, they should last, let me just see if they're telling us, they should last 20 to 30 years. So this one has a 30-year shelf life. So, but once you open it, you have to use it. Let me see if it tells you when you have to use it. Okay, it says the shelf life is up to 30 years when unopened. Once opened, use within approximately 1 year for best results. Now, I will tell you that I have opened up a can of, let's say, mango. Not my favorite, by the way. I love mango, but for some reason that one wasn't very good. And I've put the lid back on, and it didn't last for a whole year. So some moisture got in there. It started clumping together. I didn't really like it. So that's why I will put this in a pint-sized jar or a quart-sized jar, and then I'll use a contraption that sucks the air out of it. So I'll show a little clip of that here in a minute. So I use an electric mason jar vacuum sealer to vacuum seal my jars, and it will do a wide mouth as well as a standard mouth for your jars. And I just put on some gloves, use a little container to funnel to pour the mixture in there. It's really easy, guys. So let me just show you real quick. So I do put on gloves just because I don't want to, I don't know. I wash my hands, but I don't want any moisture from my hands getting into the jar. So that's why I use the gloves. So I'm just going to grab the green beans, okay? And I'm just going to put some in the jar. The dogs will really be excited if I drop any, because then they'll get to have it. Don't forget to remove the oxygen absorber. You don't need that. So again, just fill your jars. You can fill them up actually to the top if you want. I mean, you don't have to be precious about it. You can fill it up to the top. And then you're just going to take your mason jar lid, okay, put it on top. Grab your mason jar sealer, okay, place it on top and then press on for about 45 seconds. Okay. Then lift your electric mason jar sealer up, just straight up. Okay, and you should be able to, like, just kind of pull on the top, and it should not release. Oh. Yeah, so it's pretty well sealed, you can see. So all the air is out. So I'll do this for all of my jars. It looks like I can do 3 total jars with a number 10 can. And this one I'll probably not do. I'll just eat out of this one for now. And these ones will remain fresh on the shelf until they're ready to be used. So I actually will store them without a ring so that if the lid pops off, I'll know. I won't have to worry about if the lid pops off, I'll see it. Or if I open it, I'll know that it's been compromised. So I never store mine with the rings on them. I always store them without the rings. So yeah, that's how I do it. Okay, so I ended up with 2 quarts of the freeze-dried green beans and then one that's kind of not full. And so this is the one we'll be eating out of first. I ended up with 3 full quarts of the peaches. So that's nice. They're a little bit bigger, and they take up more space. So I have 3 quarts of that for snacks, and they're sealed. I wanted to show you inside the can. Some of you guys are like, how much peach dust is left? So this is how much peach dust is at the bottom of the can. Don't throw it away. You can put it in your smoothies and it'll be delicious. And for the green beans, this is how much green bean dust is left. So not hardly any dust in there at all, which is great. So also throw that in your smoothie. You'll be good to go. So don't waste it. So what I'm doing is I just added some water to the peach dust that was left over and just kind of reconstituted it to make a little peach preserve, basically without any sugar. So you can add sugar to it, but you don't need to. And then you can just put this in between your peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So you could use this as jelly if you want, or put it in your smoothie, but you don't have to throw it away because it is actually really delicious. It would be good on an ice cream topper as well. So don't throw away that deliciousness that's at the bottom of it. But these taste really good. They're a great snack. You can even dip them in things if you want. Like if you want a little bit of a French dip or a ranch or something like that, you can dip them. But my dogs are going to love these too. They'll love these as a snack. They'll be so excited. So sit down. You want another one? Okay, Tari, sit. I think these are a hit. Are those a hit? Good dogs. Good boy. The fact that these were only $10 a can, if you bought 6, I had to buy 12. So I bought 12, and these will definitely last us for a while. I don't know. This is pretty amazing. You get 21 half-cup servings in a jar. Normally, if you're buying these on Amazon, these could run upwards of like $48 for a number 10 can. So you want to be looking for sales at different companies like Nutristore, Patriot Supply. My Patriot Supply does it. I like beprepared.com. They're always running discounts, especially for like things like Black Friday. A lot of times, if you put something in your cart and you go to check out, they'll give you a bonus offer. These were actually on sale for $12, and I had a couple in my cart, but then they gave me a deal if I bought 6 that they could be $9.97. So then I put that in my cart, pulled the other ones out of my cart, and then added a total of 12 of these. So whatever works for you. Let's look at the peaches as well. Again, the peaches are just going to have peach slices in the can. There's not going to be any extra ingredients, so you're only going to get peaches. Again, all the water is removed, so these will last on your shelf for up to 30 years. And again, up to a year when opened. So let's go ahead and open these. And first we're going to inspect the can and make sure there's no bulges. And then I'm going to go ahead and open this. The calorie content's going to be the same as a peach or as a green bean. So there's no sugar, there's no additives. These are just freeze-dried foods. So one of the good things about having freeze-dried food is that you can put them in your purse or in your bag. If you're backpacking, they're super light, they're not heavy. You can take them camping. I love to take mine camping. Look at these. Be careful. Those look amazing. Let's try one. Those are so flavorful. These are really good. I'm going to have to be careful not to eat all of them. A third cup is 60 calories. So these are really delicious. So again, I get mine from beprepared.com. I'll put a link for you. I don't think I have an affiliate link for them, but it's good. So We talked a little bit about the long shelf life. We talked about the nutrient retention that it has. You get all the vitamins and minerals. We talked about how it was lightweight and portable. We talked about that they're easy to eat as snacks and that you can rehydrate them if you want. So if you wanted to make a peach pie out of these peach slices, you could. When we're talking about buying them, I would encourage you not just to go out and, stock your pantry full of all of them at regular price. I encourage you to get on their newsletter and look for the sales. Sometimes you'll get a sale like on Facebook and you just click the link and you might get a special sale there, or you might get a special sale when you just go to their website or through their newsletter. So wait for the sale, and then once you get the sale, again, try that extra tip that I gave you where you put it in your cart and then see if you get like a bonus deal when you go to checkout. Those bonus deals are amazing. A lot of times if you're going to buy them in multiple packs, so you're going to buy them in case of 6. In my case, this was a pack of 3 that was on sale. If you bought just one, it wasn't on sale. Or it was a lot more expensive. So because I bought 3 of them, I was able to get them for $13.74, but these can run up to $48. So again, looking for the sales and then stocking up. Yeah, are you going to have a lot of space in your tiny house for these? Probably not. But don't forget, underneath the tiny house, you can store things. You can store things underneath the tiny house, and of course, a shed and things like that as well. But if you have a larger house, this is perfect for that. Some of the things you want to think about is when your prices drop, when they go on sale, then you can buy more than just one. But make sure that you're maybe putting a little bit aside every now and again for emergencies as well. So I love to just buy these because they're cheap. They're cheaper than snacks. If I were to buy, a little can of green beans from Amazon, I'm going to pay, freeze-dried green beans, I'm going to pay $17 for a little can. This is a whole number 10 can that I got for $10. So look for the seasonal sales. A lot of times during Black Friday, some of the holiday times, they're going to have sales. Look for the multi-pack discounts like I talked about, where I had to buy 3 or I had to buy 6 to get the discount. And then just store up extra when the prices drop. You can put these on your shelves. And then if something happens, if you're maybe like we were experiencing this year, almost a job loss, we were like, okay, we got to really tighten the belt. We can use our freeze-dried foods at that time because we won't have to spend money. So those are just really good ideas. Some of these freeze-dried foods come in really great different types. So I love to get the freeze-dried apples. These peaches are amazing. I'm not a fan of the mango, but you might like it. Let me know in the comments if you've ever purchased the freeze-dried food and which one is your favorite. But I will tell you the freeze-dried strawberries are amazing. Now be careful when you're shopping because sometimes it looks like it's a freeze-dried food because it's like in one of these cans, but it's a dehydrated food. Those are fine too, but you're not going to get, they're not going to have this nice crisp freeze-dried, deliciousness taste. They're going to be kind of a little more dense and a little more chewier for the dehydrated. I buy both. So I'll buy both the freeze-dried and the dehydrated. It just depends on what I'm using them for. I prefer the freeze-dried. And I will tell you that purchasing this can for $14 is a lot cheaper than me going to buy a Harvest Right freeze dryer and a number 10 can or, bags and freeze drying them myself and all the time and effort that it takes to do this. I don't think I could even buy this many peaches for $14. And I know I can't buy this many green beans for $10. So, and then do all the work with it. So sometimes we think we need these amazing freeze-dried machines, which I think are amazing. I would love to have one. But, sometimes it's just as cost effective to just have someone do it for you. So there's, again, so many different options. You can do vegetables, you can do mushrooms, you can do meats, you can do even pre-made meals. But these options here are great as an alternative to, let's say, chips or candy and things like that. So moms and dads out there, if you want your kids to have a healthier snack, try to consider the freeze-dried foods and see if they'll eat those instead of all the processed chemicals that are all in all the other snacks that we like to give our kids sometimes. When we're talking about emergency and preparedness, not only is this great for a job loss, it's also good for if you have storm, if you have a power outage, right, and you can't cook anything, you could grab these snacks. All you need is a can opener and you're good to go. You can easily warm these up if you have like a little pot with like a sterno or propane gas. Your camping supplies, basically. You could, put this in some water, rehydrate it, heat it up, and have a nice warm vegetable to eat. Now, if you buy the other kind that have meats and different pastas and things that are all put together, they're going to be more expensive. But it's another option for you if that's what you're looking for, especially for things like storms, tornadoes, hurricanes, things like that. I always think it's good to have a little bit of extra freeze-dried food on hand. You can also have these freeze-dried foods in little baggies. You can put them in your car, in your purse, and take them wherever you go. So in general, I think freeze-dried foods, especially when you get them on sale, make a wonderful addition to your pantry, and they also help you to have healthy snacks at home that don't break the bank. Let me know in the comments which of your favorite foods are freeze-dried. I would love to know what it is that you guys are buying. I'll leave a comment again to where I purchased mine from, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye.